The House passed 162 general bills. 88 of those passed on the last 2 days, so we were very busy those last 2 days if you didn't get the feel of it. So anyway, we aren't going to do that much from now on. We only got like 102 Senate bills to consider. And so we'll start with Tyler Harper. Mr. Senator, tell us about your bills.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, and I don't know if I'm the first senator over here, but it's a pleasure to be with the Rules Committee this morning. Always is. I have two bills on under modified structure rule, Senate Bill 72 and Senate Bill 99. I'm going to hit on 99 real briefly. Senate Bill 99 simply, as many of you are aware, when you get your driver's license, you can sign up to be an organ donor. Senate Bill 99 would allow you to do that same thing when you get a hunting or a fishing license in Georgia. There is no cost to the department to implement it, and that's what Senate Bill 99 does, and I'd be happy to take any questions if there are any on that one.
This is sort of crass, Senator, but the question arose as to whether if you shoot your donor in the woods, whether you field dress them right there or whether
you... No comment, Mr. Chairman.
All right, are there any questions? Chairman Powell.
To the Senator Noel, is it not true while you may not be the first senator over here, you're also the first in our hearts?
Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman. That is good to know.
Is it not further true that you've also authored Senate Bill 153 that you forgot to sign up for, but it'll be coming on in this
yes, sir.
bill?
I did. I have forgot to go by the good chairman's office and fill out a couple of more forms for two other bills that passed out of House committee yesterday. I'm going to do that this morning, and hopefully this good committee will consider those as well. So
tell us about 72.
Senate Bill 72 is a bill that in different versions passed last year. It does a couple of different things. It strikes the requirement in the code dealing with licenses on WMA because that was moved under House Bill 208 a couple of years ago, so it's redundant. It allows the use of air guns and air bows for hunting in our state. It modifies various seasons and bag limits under the game code. It changes the term conservation ranger to game warden throughout the entirety of the code. It modifies the language in regards to baiting of feral hogs to bring it more in line with the deer code. And there was an amendment on the floor dealing with suppressors to open up the use of suppressors in our state without the prohibitions that were in the code for hunting purposes. So that's Senate Bill 72, Mr. Chairman.
So talk to us a little bit about the suppressors.
Okay, I will. I forgot one thing. There was an amendment in committee that added the shoal bass as the state riverine fish as well. I forgot to mention that. So that's the provisions in the bill. In regards to the amendment on the floor, I got that right. I thought I had it right here. Yeah, there it is. So Senate Bill 72, the amendment. So basically under current law, to use a suppressor for hunting, you had to do it, either do it on your own property or you had to obtain permission. The thought process behind it was that you already had to obtain permission to hunt on somebody's property already anyway, and this just done away with the prohibition of you being able to use a suppressor if you were going to go hunt on that property. So that's basically the impetus of the change and the reason for the change, and it just basically makes it to where you can use suppressors anytime that you're hunting, regardless of where you're hunting. So that's what it does.
Are there questions? No questions. You have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's it. I appreciate it.
Ms. Kendrick.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I bring to you H.R. 72, which is the first bill that is listed. This is a resolution that was before this committee last year, but encourages the state of Georgia to continue to be #1 in the state by encouraging corporate partners to form a pool of money for a pitch competition. And for those of you that don't know what a pitch competition is, it's similar to Shark Tank, where you have investors that will hear from business owners in order to invest their private capital. But it costs the state money. It's something that's already been done in New York and Boston and other cities. And I do have an amendment that I'll present at the next meeting, but it just updates it so that Georgia is listed as the #1 state to do business for 6 years as opposed to 3 years.
You have no questions. Representative Howard.
Hello, testing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring to you House Resolution 403, and this resolution is urging owners of and operators of convenience stores across the state to do a better job in putting signage up for disabled persons that can't pump their gas. And if you remember back in the old days, you had full service stations who would come out and assist you, and there are not many of them left around the state. So the convenience stores that have 2 or more persons working inside the convenience store, we're asking them, urging them to put signage up and have work toward putting some a phone number where the disabled person can call into the store and let them know that they need some assistance. And I bring this to you as a person that has experienced this in my disabled situation now. And it's something that you don't think about unless you are in this situation. And I urge you to take a look at this resolution and give it your
As I understand it, the Americans with Disabilities Act requires if they've got 2 or more attendants that they furnish that service. Is that right?
Yes, the federal.
And so all you're urging them to do is to put signage to notify the public that that service is available?
Yeah, and a phone number.
Right.
Chairman Smith.
Chairman Smith.
Thank you, and thank you for your bill presentation. I'm down on your first row at the far end.
Okay.
And appreciate you bringing this to us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No more questions.
You have no more questions.
All right, thank you.
Chairman F. Strachan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ask for favorable consideration of House Resolution 135. This measure concerns ALS, which is commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The average time for diagnosis of ALS is more than 12 months, and ALS patients often die within 2 to 5 years of receiving a diagnosis. Approximately 6,000 people in the United States are diagnosed with ALS each year. And under current law, individuals, this is federal law, individuals must wait 5 months after becoming disabled with this classification before their Social Security disability insurance benefit payments can begin. And a bipartisan bipartisan legislation was considered in the U.S. Congress, co-sponsored by Sheldon Whitehouse, Democrat, and Tom Cotton, Republican, in the Senate, to fix this, eliminate the 5-month waiting period, but it didn't pass. And so the request of this resolution is to urge the Congress to act to eliminate the 5-month waiting period for disability insurance benefits for individuals with ALS.
Are there questions?
No questions.
You have no question.
I'm next.
Chairman Smith. This is Chairman.
Thank you, sir. House Bill 368, this is an urging resolution to encourage Congress to allocate funds for the construction of Interstate 14, which would go from El Paso, Texas to Augusta, Georgia. In Georgia, every county and city council between where this road would go has passed resolutions in support of this. Thank you, sir.
Any questions? I see none. Wait a minute. Okay. A motion, Chairman Dempsey.
Yes, I would like to request that House Resolution 421 be recommitted to
What's the
House
number?
Health and Human Services.
What's the number?
421, HR 421,
All right, and that be recommitted to the committee.
Health and Human
Okay.
Services, yes, the committee which it came.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, it is so ordered. Whip Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just going through some of the bills that are on our general calendar, I would like to go in and have Senate Bill 149 and Senate Bill 212 recommitted both to the committee from which they came.
All right, the motion is Senate Bill 149 and Senate Bill 212 be recommitted to the committee from whence it came. Any objection? Hearing none, it's so ordered. We are now going to set the calendar for today. And as you can see, the consideration calendar is rather short, but the committees have been working, and I anticipate that we'll have a fairly larger number tomorrow. And so assuming that there will be enough for 2 calendars, we will set the calendar tomorrow and for Monday. And so that's sort of the plan of action. Let's set the calendar for today. House Resolution 135. It's on. Senate Bill 99. It's on. We're adjourned.